Hi, this is Wanda Atkins from the French Panorama 2023. Meet the judges, and today we have a legend with us, Andy Narell. Thank you very much for joining us. I think you're in St. Lucia.
Yeah, I'm home. I'm here in Laborie, St. Lucia.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's very warm there, I think. It's
it's
not.
beautiful. It's 80 degrees all winter. I'm sorry to say to someone who has to suffer through winter. But we just love it down here. We spend half the year down here, and we have a steel band yard too. We have a kids program here in Laborie,
Okay.
and I've been working with the kids on and off for 12 years since I've been here, and we're panorama champions. The
Ah, okay.
Laborie Steel Pan. Yeah. And there's
Nice.
a St. Lucia panorama every year.
Every year. When is their
And
panorama?
it's in July. That's when they have carnival.
Okay.
And so I'm not here for that. But I teach the kids that are, the arranger and the kids, the core of the group. And I've worked with them
Okay.
a lot. And in fact, we played in the French Caribbean. Laborie Steel Pan and we went to and played at a steel band festival in Basse-Terre in Guadeloupe,
Mhm.
and we played at the jazz festival in Anstarlet, and we played a full concert there. And so they've gotten there's a French connection.
There's a first.
And we just finished an international workshop where people come from we have many players who have come from France and La Réunion and the US, Australia, all over.
Wow, I'm going to have to
So
come to one of your workshops.
you should. You would love it. You would love it. And the best thing about the hidden thing about it is that when you come here for this steel band workshop, you get all the music and all the pan playing that you hope for, and then you fall in love with this village. It's
Mm.
such a cool place. It's like the way the Caribbean used to be,
Ah,
in a way. It's something that we've lost. This is a village that doesn't have any corporations and doesn't have traffic and doesn't have a crime problem, and it's there are no big hotels, no foreign investment, no companies from outside at all. It's a fishing village. That's and it's got a real village quality to it. Everybody knows everybody, and we have a pan yard and a
and
Mako Jumbi school. There's a
yeah.
Mako Jumbi school also.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
Cricket
Yeah,
from the English.
from the English. Yeah, from the English.
Yeah.
From the English. So
Yeah.
you, Andy, how did you begin playing pan? What's that story?
Well, I grew up in New York, and when I was a little kid, my dad was doing social work with street gangs on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and he was just always looking for programs that would get the kids interested in something, because they were dealing with a lot of violence between the gangs and crime and a lot of heroin addiction. It was a tough time to be down there
Yeah.
in that area, for kids to grow up in that area. And so they had summer camps, and they'd go to the beach. So sometimes I'd go down to work with them and get on the bus and go to the beach with all the kids and stuff like that. And there was a guy that wasn't working out at the summer camp as a counselor, and so they asked him what else he knew how to do before they fired him. And he said, I know how to play steel pans, and I know how to make them too. And he was from Antigua, and he was trying to work his way through school in New York. And my father had seen a steel band one time, and he ventured forth and said, let's hire the guy and give it a try. And he taught one group, and they were out playing gigs, and they made a record, and and all the kids everybody wanted to do it. And together they launched 20 steel bands on 2 sets of pans in a year and a half. And they repeated history too, just like in Trinidad. He didn't know that steel band had been created by teenage kids in gangs, right? And here he's discovering that teenage kids in gangs, they like this, they like to do this. So, and he also discovered that just the gangs were exclusionary. They wouldn't let girls play. So he launched all female steel bands at the Education Alliance. That was where it was all happening. And he had no idea that had happened in the 50s in Trinidad. That the women had gotten tired of being excluded, and they started forming all-girl bands in Trinidad in the 50s. And he thought this might be the first all-female steel bands in the world. And I have a recording of him posing it, because they put on he put on the first steel band festival in America in 1962, and I have a recording of it. And so I it's interesting to go back and look at it, because I realized what he wasn't aware of at the time. It's on the microphone saying this might be the first all-girl steel band anywhere, but he was wrong. It was just history repeating itself.
Wow.
Nowadays, since it's happened since the 70s, and it became a half female activity. And I just came from working in Japan with a group that was like 3/4 female.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And they were jamming. Great band. Great band.
Japan is, I got some great musicians there in Japan too.
Yeah, it was really exciting. I don't know if you've seen the videos from the Kobe Steel Band Festival, but I did a whole set with the group Fantastics, and we're putting those out one by one. And then the finale, we had a 57-piece steel band with people from all over Japan playing the passage. So, and it was swinging. I'm very proud of them. Yeah, really proud.
Oh my goodness, they have to do a panorama. Well,
hey, they would if they played in Trinidad, people would eat it up. They'd love it.
Yeah, definitely.
It'd be like
it's a different energy, but it's an energy that's really, I don't know, enticing in a sense, because the joy to play. I think that's what it is too. You could feel it. You could definitely feel it.
And a lot of these players have played frontline in Trinidad steel bands at Panorama already, so it's just growing, the level of play and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Like France.
Like France. Oh yeah, we're talking about France. Yeah, like I know that you were part of the jury last year, also for the first French Panorama, and now this is your second time in the second edition. What is your experience like, being a judge? Because we say competition, but
Well, I enjoy this role. It's nice. I get to a front row seat for some really interesting stuff. Like, for instance, I've been judging in London for 3 panoramas there now, and I really enjoy it. And I think that, some of the innovations that are happening there and that we've talked about and have tried to carry over to the French Panorama, in terms of just having a jury of musicians, a jury of steel band arrangers, a jury of people that really understand something about this music, and to get rid of some of all this numerical stuff and throwing out people's scores and because of politics and all that kind of stuff, and just get down to, like, have a serious jury that the bands respect, and give them as much feedback as they want, and then weight all the scores equally is the other innovation, and I'm not going to go into explaining that on our podcast, but we did come up with a way so that it's kind of as if, as if everybody's deciding by a point, and it was interesting what happened in London this year. There were only 3 judges, and they weren't throwing out any scores. When they had 5, they were throwing out 2 of them, and I protested that to the whole everybody. I said, you can't throw out Ray Holman's score. I'm sorry. This system is wrong. And that was, and they had.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because he was scoring high. And we were scoring a little lower, but it didn't matter. It was all a question of who you think is the best band,
Right.
So to throw out his, it's inconceivable to me that we continue to do that, So anyway, that's where we came up with this thing, which is actually, I got it from the weighting system that we use. I learned it from Joan Lithgow, who runs the International marimba and steel pan festival in
Yeah.
South Africa every year in
Mm.
Johannesburg. I was on that jury for 4 years,
Wow.
and it was great. It was like 2 days. I saw 2,000 kids playing. You know, there were like 220 performances in 2 days and there were 2,000 kids coming to play marimba, pan. They singing, they have drums, percussion, there's singing and dancing, there's everything. It's just an incredible show of joyous kids enjoying playing music, you know. So anyway, we borrowed their system, which
Okay.
equally weights all the judges and everything. And
Mhm.
so, and this format, you know, I mean, it's not the same as going to Panorama and so on.
Mhm.
And hearing live steel bands, but I think I've enjoyed doing it. I feel like I can assess the music and the playing,
Mhm.
and so in terms of people wanting to have a jury with it gives them musical feedback and rates them in a
Mhm.
competition. You know, I feel like we're getting it done. You know,
Yeah.
we have I really respect, I have tremendous respect for everybody on the jury and their opinions. And I just kind of like enjoy watching the music. I go through it at least a couple times
Mhm.
to make sure I've, you know how I feel about the order of, because
Yeah.
we just select the order.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I really enjoyed it again this year. I thought there was some significant developments in the music,
Yeah.
and
That too. Yeah. Wait till you see it's all put together. It's gonna be quite nice. It's gonna be quite nice.
yeah,
That's for sure.
I'm not. I know I'm not. I assume I'm not allowed to spill any beans
No,
about what
no,
I
no, no,
thought
no.
about
Not
individual
spill the tea. Not
performances or
today.
something like that. Yeah,
No,
that'll be
no.
the next. You should do a follow-up podcast.
And follow podcast. We should actually. We should
Yeah.
actually
Yeah,
do.
you could have all the bands and their stating, interview them and see what they think about the judges, you know,
Oh my
and
goodness.
then we could talk about how we feel about the arrangers, you know,
Oh my goodness. Woo, that can take time. That can
a little
take
back and
a long
forth.
time. Back and forth, back and forth.
No,
And, I
I'm just
think
kidding.
people are getting into the idea that there is a panorama and then one day it could be live. So that's that, the goal is to have it live. But even
Mm,
if it were to be live, it still would be recorded so the rest of the world could see it. You know, I think that would be important too. So we don't know. We'll see how it's going to develop in the future. Since this is just the second edition.
yeah.
We'll keep on enjoying the music, that kind of thing. Yes, I did have other questions about. At the end, I'm going to do a rapid fire question type of thing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's completely random. It's completely random, but it's coming. It's coming. It's definitely coming. Do you have any other future projects that you're thinking of doing? Because I know you do workshops already in Saint Lucia. Are you doing anything in France in the future, or?
I hope so this summer. You know, the Calypso Session is having a big anniversary, and
Yeah.
I hope to be involved with that. We
Mm.
were kind of emails going back and forth,
Yeah. It's nice to
you know.
see.
But for the most part, I have some, in the next few months, I have a bunch of teaching to do. Some of it's here. I have a couple more workshops here in Laborie, and I also have a couple at universities in the States. And I'm going to Trinidad to play a concert. But I'll be home when I'm home. I'm working on new music right now, and a lot of it is with I'm working on how to use the digital steel pans, the steel pan library that I
Yes.
created.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's a sampled library of Elie Manette steel pans, and it's out now as a product. And uh, part of when I find that if I'm looking to say, well, what can I do to help promote this thing so people get the idea? Well, it keeps coming back to work on new music
True.
and new ways to use these things.
True.
So the first thing I did was an album of steel band music, but all played on keyboards, and I didn't write it. I arranged other composers. It's called Like a Child. It's on SoundCloud, up, or as a link at my website, and to listen to it. And the right now I'm working on what happens when you combine pans with all different kind of synths, keyboards, all this different kind of synthesizers and samplers and stuff like that. And so we're working on videos. I have one with Jean-Philippe Riquiel, who is an amazing synth programmer and keyboard player in Paris. And he's playing the pans and synths together, and I did one. And we're working on those, and it's just kind of taking me into different ways of, what about the next music I write. It's like, it's sort of could be anything, I'm just like
experimenting, like
it's in this searching thing, and I'm going to take advantage of the time I have here at home to work on that.
Oh my goodness, it's so exciting.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun, creativity.
to like, be able to have that space to be able to work on what I want to work on, and just keep exploring stuff.
Keep exploring.
So
yeah, you have to keep exploring.
And I really, the teaching and playing, I enjoy it so much. It's like, that's what I'd be doing that even if I didn't need the money or something like that, but to go out and work and stuff, I would still do it. I love it.
Yeah. That kind of nourishes the soul, doesn't it? Music.
Yeah. I feel lucky.
Oh, okay.
Lucky. I'm one lucky pan player, as they would say.
Well, you're a famous pan player, that's for sure. But we can see that
I've been persistent,
I've been persistent. That's what it is.
Non-stop for 60 years, things start to happen.
Years. Wow.
Yeah.
60 years. Okay.
Yeah, so that's when I started playing in front of people. 60 years ago.
60 years ago? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
60.
When I was 8, I was already out playing gigs, stuff like that. That's when I started playing.
8 years old. Okay.
So,
in New York.
Yeah, we grew up in the whole thing growing up in New York, and we had a steel band, me and my brother and 4 other guys, and my father got us gigs and drove us around. And it was a kid's steel band, and I had to get a union card when I was 10 years old so we could play in all the union places in Manhattan because we had gigs,
Wow.
And and we were,
oh, goodness.
We played from the time I was about 10 to 15 or so, 16. We played about 800 gigs, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I only know this because there was a couple of the guys in the band kept the list.
Okay.
And they sent me a copy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see these pictures. There's got to be pictures somewhere.
Oh yeah, just go to my Facebook page.
Okay.
There's a picture of me right there.
All right.
I'm like 9 years old.
9 years old. My goodness, Andy. We actually have something in common. We're yeah.
We both play pan. What?
Yes, we both play pan, and we're both born in Connecticut.
No, I wasn't born in Connecticut.
Where were you born?
No, I know you're from Connecticut, and I have a lot of family in Connecticut. That's what I told you. But I was born in New York, and so was my father. Although he grew up a lot of his whole teenage years. He lived in Connecticut on a farm.
Okay, well,
yeah,
East Coast.
So we both have Connecticut roots. I still go see my aunt, who's out in Colchester, and she's 96, and I never miss a year. I go out there every year to see her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, at least that's clear. New York.
I say hi to your family on the way by.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then in Trinidad too, you have to do the same. That's for sure. Are you ready for these rapid fire questions?
I don't know.
You don't know. You
really? Is that the first one?
Okay, so what it is that I say some words. I say 2 words. You choose one or the other, or both, or none at all. But the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay?
I hate these. I get nervous when I see somebody else doing these. Like Inside Actors Studio and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, it's you'll be able to do it. It's cute.
All right, go ahead, fire away.
Yeah.
I'll let you know if I'm not into it. if I'm dying over
I
here.
can't point out when you're not into it. Or
We're recording.
Okay, so or swimming,
Sorry, I didn't hear it. The first word.
flying or swimming.
Oh, definitely swimming.
Definitely swimming. Batman or Robin.
Neither.
Neither. Moon or stars.
Stars.
Stars. And Connecticut or New York.
New York. Sorry. I like Connecticut, but
But New York is something else. No, but I want to thank you again, really, of taking your time to do this very short podcast, because I know you're really busy with the workshops. Really appreciate your contribution that you've given to us in these last 2 editions. Okay.
cool. It's been a pleasure, and a pleasure talking to you, Wanda.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you very much for joining us for this meeting of the judges. This was the last one in this series for this year. Thank you very much, Narell, of course. It's always a pleasure. And remember to join us on January 21st at 8 o'clock GMT +1. And check us out, because this panorama is going to be great. Wishing you a wonderful day. See you soon. Bye.